The lobby of Easton Dynamics gleamed like money. Polished floors, steel walls, glass so spotless it looked invisible. But the man behind that shine? Nobody saw him. Every night at 11 o'clock p.m., sharp, Malik Carter, 29, walked through the revolving doors, wearing a navy blue janitor uniform, with a stitched name tag no one bothered to read. He clocked in, put on his noise-canceling earbuds, and began his shift. Trash bins, vacuum lines, toilets no executive ever saw. Malik didn't complain. He had a rhythm, because this wasn't his final job. It was just the one no one saw coming. The trouble started on a Thursday. Malik had just emptied the executive floor's recycling bins when the elevator dinged. Out walked Philip Granger, 52, founder and CEO, white hair, perfect suit, ego the size of the building. He paused when he saw Malik crouched by the glass railing. "Still scrubbing floors?" Philip chuckled, sipping a tumbler of scotch. "Don't they have robots for that now?" Malik stood up slowly, meeting his gaze. Calm, still. "Not yet, but I'm sure they will soon." Philip took another sip, smirked. "Well, I hope you're not expecting a raise for all that forward thinking." He walked off without waiting for a reply. Malik watched him disappear into the boardroom, then reached into his pocket, pulled out a tiny flash drive, labeled Echo Core v3.0, and smiled. What no one at Easton knew. By day, Malik was finishing his dual PhD in computer engineering and cognitive systems. By night, he'd been building an AI framework that was cleaner, faster, and smarter than anything on the market. The janitor job? It wasn't just a paycheck. It was reconnaissance. He studied how the company operated, how their systems failed, how their engineers thought. He sat in on town halls, listened in cafeterias, read code fragments left on whiteboards. And when Easton's patent on their flagship AI system, Echo Core, expired, Malik had already built the upgrade and filed the new one under his name. A month later, Easton Dynamics hosted a private investor demo for their next-gen product. They were expecting a quiet evening, wine, slides, tech talk. What they didn't expect, that their entire architecture would be outperformed, in real time, by a prototype none of them had seen. When the screen lit up with live data, a voice echoed across the boardroom. "Good evening, I'm Ava. Your systems are 42% inefficient. Would you like me to correct them?" Silence. "Where is this coming from?" Philip barked. One of the investors leaned forward. This is better than anything Easton's ever shown." Then came the final screen. A signature. Patent, NACTA US 479812, AI. Owner, Malik Carter. Gasps. And then, the door opened. Philip Granger stormed into the control room. "Who let this garbage into our system?" Malik stood beside the server rack, calm as ever, still wearing his janitor uniform. "I didn't hack your system," Malik said. "I built something better, and the investors asked for a demonstration." "You think they'll invest in a janitor with a science fair project?" Philip hissed. But outside the glass walls, investors were already in heated discussions, asking Malik's name, taking photos of the display. "I think they'll invest in results," Malik replied. "You had 5 years. I've had 5 jobs, and still beat your entire R&D department with a laptop and a mop bucket." Philip's face darkened. "You signed a non-compete. I'll sue." Malik pulled a folder from his backpack. "I never signed anything. I'm contract cleaning, through a third-party vendor. No NDA, no IP clauses." He stepped closer. "You didn't even know my last name until today." By Monday, news had spread across the industry. Unknown black inventor outsmarts billion-dollar AI firm Janitor turned CEO, Malik Carter's disruption of Easton Dynamics, VC firms called. MIT professors wrote op-eds. And Easton's board? They weren't impressed with Philip's jokes anymore. The board demanded a meeting. Philip arrived, but his name was no longer on the agenda. Instead, Malik stood at the head of the table. "We reviewed your technology," one board member said. "We believe Malik's system is the future." Philip scoffed. "He's a janitor." "And you," the investor replied, "are officially retired." Philip turned red, then white. Malik didn't gloat. He simply opened his laptop and said, "Shall we begin?" Malik returned to the Easton building one last time, but not through the back door. He stepped out of a black car in a tailored charcoal gray suit, a different badge clipped to his chest. Founder and CTO, Nova Layer AI. The same receptionist who once ignored him now offered him coffee. The same elevator that once skipped his floor now opened directly to the top. He paused outside the boardroom. A janitor walked by with a mop and bucket, just like he used to. Malik smiled, nodded, and said, "Evening. Keep doing what you're doing," and walked in, not to clean the floors, but to shape the future.